What's up? This is Julian with Pixel Pesto, and today we'll be setting up a really cool flip fluid scene in my favorite program right now, Houdini. Let's go. What we will be doing today is gonna be making pesto digitally. Alright, I wanted to make a cool intro for this channel. Cool intro. So I basically had the whole video planned out. I knew what I wanted to say, when I wanted to say it. I knew what I wanted to show. I made pesto in real life. I've made it in the program several times now with different viscosity settings, density settings, different graphs, just trying it over and over again. And really made some nice progress, I think. So after creating the real thing and then looking at whatever I did here in Houdini earlier, things they weren't matching up, man. My stuff was way too flowy. It went like it flashed down and there was like lots of dribbling going on, and this just doesn't work for me anymore. At this point of the process, I'm really hyped about the idea still, and I went back into the program, recreated the thing, and wanted to show you the whole process of me doing it and creating pesto digitally in Houdini. The only thing for me that's kind of missing is like a little oily, wet looking thing, especially here on the transitions. But I slowly started to get the idea that this was not the important stuff. This wasn't the message that I wanted to get across in my videos, and this also wasn't me. I realized, like, what the heck? Why would I make a YouTube channel intro? That's like the commercial YouTube channel. I don't want to be that. And realizing that in the middle of the video with hours and hours put into it was challenging. And I've been working on this for 2 weeks now, and it's just fuck. Leaves me at this spot where I'm like, should I just throw it all away and start over? But I also already started like cutting the video and everything, and I think there's something to be taken away. And I mean, it's not just all a waste of time. It's been a good learning experience in Houdini and with making videos, and now it's been, I think, I mean, I learned something about where this channel maybe is going in the future, which I thought I had an idea about that, but apparently that idea was wrong. And yeah, leaves me in this weird spot where I don't know how to feel about that. So when I can't see the forest for all the trees, I usually go outside and just try to be in that moment with me and the space around me. I observe nature, listen to the birds, and try to not think about anything really. Let life happen. It shows me kind of how insignificant my projects are and all my creative endeavors, and helps me keep it all in check. So after that little adventure, I decided I don't care about a channel intro. This is not something I want, this is not me, but I still want to use what I've learned here and maybe share that in a video. And so here we are. The creative journey that you go through when creating anything can be really wild. You start something, you have an idea, and you go at it, and you're really like hyped and happy that you had that idea, and you start creating something, and it just turns out to become something else. And it's not, like, for me at least, I've never been able to just one for one recreate what I had in my mind. It always turns out different, and along the way you have these other ideas that start popping up in your head. Maybe you go to sleep the one day and wake up the next, and you're having a look at your project again, and it's just kind of falling apart right there in front of you, and you go, how can I save this? What can I do with this? And this is super common for me. I mean, I've been creating stuff for quite a while now, and I see this kind of pattern evolving, and yeah, it's a trip, man. So I think there's something to take away here, and why wouldn't I share that? Why would the only video I make, like a tutorial or like a process like that, even like this right here, might be even more important to share than any process video I was trying to do. So here we are, and it's just, for me, kind of eye-opening, and for me it gets really interesting in these in-between spaces. Like, you have an idea, you go out and try to make it happen, and then something comes up, or you're kind of not happy with how it's going, and you find another idea, or you find a creative way to turn it around and turn it into something else that you might be very happy with. And these in-between phases, and these, I had this idea, but now I have this other idea that I would have never gotten if I didn't start on the initial idea, right? So you get into these spaces that are really hard to get into if you wouldn't have started in the first place. So this is, if you take one thing away from this video, is just start whatever you want to do and take it from there. It's not going to turn out the way you wanted it to, probably. If it does, congrats, that's awesome. For me, it almost never does. And so, yeah, to me, in the end, it's not even important that the thing that I was trying to achieve in the first place didn't get achieved. Because where I think life gets interesting is in the in-betweens, and in the moments where you find something new and really think this is super cool and interesting, and then you start to go into that direction. And then you go off that path again at some point, sooner or later, because you discovered something else. And it's never about really trying to completely fulfill whatever you were going for in the first place, but it's about just being like water, man, just flowing from the one thing to the next and picking up things left and right and going off the beaten path. And I feel like that's where I love my life the most, and I like to live in that space. And so this channel is really not going to be some kind of straightforward thing where you only get like Houdini tutorials or something like that, but this channel is really going to be a meandering kind of river that just goes from here to there to over there and just follows whatever I think is really cool and interesting right now. And this is where I believe I can bring you the most amount of interesting content and the most amount of me, of myself. And that's what we all need online, is more people that are just being real and being honest and real and true to themselves. All right, so after all of this, maybe we can end this on a good note, which would be that it's easy to lose track of where you're going. That is common knowledge, I think. And it's especially easy to lose track of where you're going when you're juggling so many things at once and being creative and trying to manifest an idea you had in your mind. But I think it's very important to the creative process that you let go and you don't stick to your ideas necessarily. The moment you think that it's not fitting anymore, or it's not representing what you want it to represent, or if it's not really you, you should let it go. You should let the idea change and be open to that. The idea is basically what gets you out of the door, what gets you outside there into the creative zone and onto the creative journey. But I think the most interesting ideas I find are the ones that you can't really come up with. It's what happens along the way. It's what happens on the journey. And to put yourself into a position where you can get to these ideas, where you can just let creativity happen to you, basically, which might sound weird. You have to leave the house. You have to go outside, and the initial idea is what gets you there, what gets you going. But whatever you come back with, I don't know. I didn't know that I was gonna make this video. I thought I was gonna make another video. But I listened to myself and to my inner voice saying like, hey, this doesn't work. This is not what you want to be doing. And so here we are. And I think this video hits way closer to who I am and what I want to convey in a video than my initial process video would have ever been. So listen to that inner voice, go out there, go create. Don't let that scare you, and don't let it let that uncertainty of the creative process get to you. It is part of it. I feel like it's always there for me, and if you go through that process, which is not easy, it's always like a struggle for me, but if you keep at it, there will be something at the end that is going to be rewarding to you. It's just a matter of putting a lot of yourself into it, a lot of time, a lot of effort, a lot of love, and in the end you will have something that you're happy with. That's been my journey right now. So let's leave it at that. Thank you for watching me ramble on for hours. So to complete this video, here's the final shot that started out as my potential channel intro and turned into me trying things and just seeing where I could take this potentially, how it might have looked like. And it's in a visual development state, I would say. There's a lot more passes needed here to make this look really good, and it's probably way too long. But this is what I came up with in the end. until I decided, like, okay, time to cut it, time to move on, and do something else. Yeah, happy that you were here, and I hope you have taken something away from this. And see you in the next one, hopefully. Till then, be creative. Be creative.